Hello, my friends. Friday evening, 19th of November. Happy birthday to Mr. President. I can pretend to be Marilyn Monroe and start singing, and you will be running. There will be so many people running away from me. Okay, and I will start. We have today lunar eclipse. Oops! Oh my God. I'm sorry. We have a lunar eclipse tonight. Actually, it started last night in the morning at 3 o'clock. And in Edmonton, it was a great one. It was 588 years the last time that it was as big as that one. And in this area, I'm 100 kilometers from Edmonton, so we had that. My husband went in the night to take a picture of it, and it was beautiful. And the earth was making a shadow on the moon, and it was 97% eclipse, so nearly complete. Okay, and today it will be about Ghislaine Maxwell trial, Rittenhouse trial as well. He was found not guilty, and about his mother. So many of you were sending me information. The DeJoy postmaster, Enoch, Meghan McCain, and earthquake in California. So I will start with, and it will be even about Van Gogh as well, Vincent Van Gogh. Okay, Carol B. My question is about trial of Ghislaine Maxwell. Will there be more information that she will spread? Will we learn what in the black book? And I had the feeling she is afraid of the group of men. So the club of those rich men, she's afraid. She's not speaking. I don't think she will speak. And there will be not enough information from that black book. They will be keeping this as a secret. So many privileged men were involved in that book. So we don't know. We know that previous presidents, 2 of them were his friends, and a lot of multimillionaires were his guests. So this woman is afraid. She hates to be in a prison, but she's not. Will she spill any beans? No, she will be only saying that she was in love with Epstein, that was the reason she was with him. She is lonely and she feels like she is isolated. She hates to be in that prison. But there is someone that she's afraid of, and someone who has a lot of power. Probably you can name it, so many of them. Started from royal family to everyone. So I think she is afraid. Barbara Gregg is asking, Rittenhouse was found not guilty. How it is possible? And it is big possibility when the wheel of fortune is stopped by, when is controlled by the judge. So I said that it will be sweet candy twisted and the maple syrup candy. he is coming out of this with $2 million. Maybe some legal fees that will be paid to those lawyers, but not $2 million. I don't think they signed that big contract. So he is coming out of it very well. And so many of you were sending me information that the mother said that she was not driving him. I heard once on the CNN, and today I don't remember which anchor. I think it was the one with blonde hair, but that from CNN. But then today, instead of Lawrence O'Donnell, there was another young lady running his show, and her guest was saying that it was the mother who drove him. So divided information, but I think, and I was surprised that the judge never asked him who drove him. He asked him after everything who drove him back to home, and he said which friend drove him back. But he didn't ask him at the beginning who drove him to that place. So, and the mother took him to the police because she was afraid that he will be a fugitive. So she acted normal way, but I think she was involved with drive him there. Well, CNN wouldn't say something and MSNBC wouldn't say something if they don't have a proof. Cheryl, I hope that they not only fire DeJoy, the postmaster, but also charge him with some crimes. Will the DOJ charge him? And I saw a cat in a spinning drying machine. Spinning, and not a nice picture. I love animals, so I will never, but that's what I'm seeing. So he will go through the wringer to the dry cleaners, what he will be charged. Because today Rachel was saying that it's a big possibility that he will be removed from the office, from the post, beginning of the next year. Not yet, but beginning, because they already, Biden nominated 2 guys who are in charge now, will be able to remove him. The law will hit him. He will have to face the law. The sun was shining on him, and he will put so much money in the wife's pocket, but America will eventually be able to take some money out of him. Okay. And that was about Eclipse, so I will put this on the side. Jackie ML, do you see Cuba free? Oh. Okay, I mixed that. So I didn't answer that. So do I see a Cuba free? Okay, there will be a lot of, it will take a time, but there will be a lot of riots, a lot of energy, heat, and eventually they will be judging the people in the power. Family will be reunited, people will be happy on the street, dancing on the street, and for being backstabbed for so many years. So eventually they will be able to stand up for the freedom. But it will take a long time, and well, why, I don't know. Time is never easy for any psychic, so it will take some time. And Enoch was in the Bible, and he was the prophet, And I was saying in the last video that my spirit guy name is Enoch. So a lot of people wrote to me, Jackie ML as well, that he was in the Bible, he was a prophet, and he could fly. And so maybe my connection with me being a shaman in 1600 somewhere is somehow connected with him. Who knows? But it's nice to believe that the visions that I could fly was connecting me with his ability to fly. And as a shaman, the vision that I had about being a shaman, I saw a young boy who was stopping buffaloes. The buffalo were coming on the village and they will destroy the village. And the boy stood up and pulled the hands. Somehow I was able to stop the buffaloes. And then no one in the village was looking at me. Everyone was coming next to me and putting head down. So I asked once a native guy, and he was a big, ranky spirit, someone who had the chief of one tribe from BC. And I said, I was in previous life a shaman, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't understand why I saw the boy stopping the buffalo and then no one was looking at me, and I was going through the village and everyone was putting their head down. And I was living kind of on the edge of the village and people were coming to my tent for help. And he said, people are not supposed to look in the eyes of a shaman. I didn't know that, but that was in my vision. And he said, if you were capable of doing that as a young kid, stopping the buffalo, then you will be chosen to be a shaman by the village. So that was explaining my kind of, when you do past life, you just see a piece of picture, a little video, and then you have to understand. And I was lucky that I asked this guy to tell me. And the other question is, Camel AM, do you think Meghan McCain will become a senator? Meghan McCain is daughter of John McCain. He was a senator. He was the hero. The Trump couldn't believe that someone can be a hero, so he would try to dismiss that. And she's from Arizona. Will she? And she will be appreciated, not this time, but maybe next time. I know that she will be appreciated, that people will be, but I don't know if it's a good time for her right now. Beginning of new journey, there will be some problem with the money and eventually the party will accept her, but maybe not this time. She is probably, after Liz Cheney is being so outspoken, they are afraid that this lady might be too much a problem for them, so maybe not this time. And she's still very young. Camel, what is the future of Mike Pence? And I saw him in the bed doing nothing, laying and doing nothing. So I don't think there is too much of the future. Even if he will be trying, it's nothing really spectacular. He will try to rejuvenate. Yeah, my intuition is probably correct. That's always confirmation for me. He will rejuvenate himself. He will try it to please everyone and look from different point of view, and he will be negotiating something. So he will not die, but he will be he was boring. And Camel M is asking as well, why Mike Pence didn't let photographs picture to be taken during the hiding in the bunker in January 6th. He was in the Congress bunker in a garage place where they have cars. He refused to be taken to the White House because he thought that he will never come back. So I think he felt very uncomfortable to not being able, because it was taking so many hours. They came back around midnight or 3 o'clock, it was finished. So during that time, they had to sit probably on the ground on the cement in the garage place. That was not comfortable for President, his wife. They were there from the morning for so many hours, and I think that's what I was seeing, that they were feeling unhappy and like not in the environment that they were spoiled for the last 4 years at least, to be in the garage, not too much food, even nowhere to go. Who knows how many, there are probably bathrooms, but nowhere to sit on. And people were sitting and waiting, and he didn't want to, even if the picture were taken, he didn't want anyone to show the pictures. He knew that they will have to celebrate what he will be doing, the celebration of Biden, that the world is watching, and it was in his hands to do what was right, to follow the magician, and he felt good about himself. But that situation was not very comfortable to be just a human sitting on the floor, cement floor between cars. It's not something that he wants to be proud in the history. And Joanne K. Did Vincent van Gogh reincarnate in another painter? I love the story of Van Gogh, not that it was a nice story. I was repainting one of his paintings. He painted 11 paintings of sunflowers. The Gogh was coming to visit him, and eventually, after a couple months, they were so furious, so depressed. Van Gogh was extremely unclean. Paint was everywhere, and that time paint contained lead, and lead can make people crazy. So he was probably poisoned by lead. Eventually, after one argument, he cut his ear. That's the drama that he was caused himself. And yeah, I will show you. I painted kind of copy, but it's not a copy when you use different paints, and his paintings were not copies. So this one is Vincent and this one is mine. This one I did in few hours. I'm burning myself. And I was feeling really happy when I was doing this painting. He was so happy knowing that his friend is coming to visit him, so he decorated the whole room with sunflowers. But eventually it turned out to be very disappointing. And the question is, did he was reincarnated in another painter? And I thought maybe in Picasso, but Picasso was born when Van Gogh was still alive. So maybe he was a baby and then Van Gogh went into his body. Because when I was painting Picasso, as a human being, he was appreciated. People admire him. So he had the fame. But his paintings are not happy. Van Gogh paintings were happy, even he was a very unhappy person. When I was painting for my niece Picasso, it was like painting by numbers. You don't have to mix the colors, you don't have to look for the shadows, you don't have to do anything. I wouldn't be surprised that he went to that little boy who was showing interest in paintings and kind of reincarnated in his life. It came to my mind, and honestly, I was tired by the end of when I finished painting, reproducing the painting of Picasso. I told my sister-in-law, I know she wants this for her birthday, I will do it. But there was no emotions. It was from this line to this line. Everything was sketch kind of, and I never was keen of Picasso's art. Even my brother lately bought some little thing. In Germany, he bought a little card, and it was from Picasso's from the 60s, so he is thrilled. It was a wedding for someone, and he found this on their eBay in Germany, and he is doing the research if that's a real thing or not. But to me, Picasso was happy. You know, his life was larger than life, but the art was not showing the happiness. Van Gogh was not happy in his life, but at least those sunflowers, when I was painting, I had happy moments. And Joshua asks, will California have major earthquake in 2022? So which part of California? I thought that it will be a wealthiest part of California, one of the more wealthy part, and it will be woman's name. It's like Santa Barbara, Santa Ana, Santa Monica, something like that. I was in Santa Barbara, I was in Santa Monica. I know how beautiful it is. I hope nothing happened, but that's what I thought, and I feel always obligated to answer questions and 3 cards. I might be not correct because I might be just missing some point somewhere where the cow is jumping, somewhere where people are enjoying the life, kind of flat, so close to the ocean. A lot of people will be hurt, and on top of the cliff, so somewhere where you see the nice cliffs, but that's quite often in California. And there will be some damage, people will be hurt, people will feel unhappy. Oh, I will answer if Van Gogh went into the body of Picasso. That was for Santa. That was for earthquake. I was still thinking about the Picasso thing. So I will leave it this way because I think these cards were for Picasso when I was looking. So I was thinking about Picasso. Yes, the happy place he wanted to be, and his heart was so broken, and then there will be earthquake, a lot of families will be suffering, and wealthy part. I'm sorry for this, but I knew I should stop the moment that I was looking at the pictures and pulling the cards. I should think what I was thinking in my mind, and to go for the answer. It was not that I was thinking about earthquake, I was thinking about Picasso and Van Gogh, because I didn't answer that question, so I'm sorry. Not often that I make those mistakes, but happened sometimes. And I want to do the prayers for safety of the world, that there will be no mudslides, no earthquakes, no hurricanes, no floods, no fires, that people will be able to control the environment, and it will be not that that never happened, but it's not to that amount what is going on right now, so much worse than ever before. So at least that they will be able to move the time to the point that they can control everything, and hopefully that will be a big improvement in everyone's life. And for people in BC who are suffering from that flood, and the animals, thousands of cows and pigs and other animals, what is drowned because of that flood. So our prayers to every soul who was, there was not that many casualties, as many as it could be, but the animals' world was completely, well, a lot of cows that they were capable of pulling out from that flood, but not too many, because it was so fast that they didn't have time to be prepared. So we have to pray that environment will be better, that we will create the better environment, and not for me, but for the future generations. Okay, take care of yourself, stand up for what is right, and see you next time. Good night.